Welcome to No FOMO Charts Crypto and Stocks TA live stream. Today is January 3rd, 2022. It's a new year. Happy New Year. It is about 11 p.m. at night Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be a 1-hour live stream. Double audio. Here we go. So let's go ahead and get started with crypto here. Before we jump into Bitcoin and crypto and total market cap, just have to remind people and tell people that we have stock market earning season starting this month. So it starts next week. Basically, the week of January 10th is when stock market seasons basically starts. So you want to keep that in mind, is that there will be volatility in the stock market, USA stock market this month, and then we might see additional volatility in the Bitcoin crypto market. So let's go ahead and get started there. Let's start with total chart, the crypto total market cap here. If you're joining us, thank you so much. All right, so we can interpret this chart two ways. We're looking at 2021 to 2022. First thing I want to point people out to is the bearish case scenario is we have a potential head and shoulders right here. Potential, it's a little slanted. But if this bearish pattern turns out to be true, the bad case that could happen in crypto is the crypto market could crash negative 40%. I repeat, the Bitcoin market could crash negative 40% if the bearish pattern completes, meaning that there are not enough bulls in the market. And then if we lose the support of basically 2 trillion, we could definitely crash back down to the May 2021 kind of Dogecoin China ban crash levels. All right, so that's a potential big warning sign in the next 1 to 3 months for crypto. Like, I'm just reading what's showing up on the charts. Okay, that's potential. That's the bearish scenario. The bullish scenario that a lot of people are thinking about right now is if we hold this potential higher low here, meaning the support. If we hold support here above 2.1 trillion, we could have one more leg up to 3 trillion or to 2.8 trillion. So this could be our target to the upside. Right here, we got rejected down from the trend line, but we're finding support. If we can hold this higher low in the crypto market, in this blue circle right here, we could see a rally. All right, so I'm not trying to be too biased in any direction. Those are the two scenarios that I'm seeing. On our side, there is upside down head and shoulders momentum, so we could see a bounce up in the medium term. So let's switch over to just check Bitcoin futures really fast. And again, the Bitcoin dominance chart, BTC.D, is we are at the support level here, so we could get a Bitcoin bounce. It's possible. But we need buyers to come into the market soon, this month. All right, so now we're on the BTC1 exclamation point. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures chart. This is the futures chart, okay? So this Chicago Mercantile Exchange traders. So what we can see here on the futures chart, it's a little different than the total market cap, is we could still see our 3 support levels here. We have a support level 44,000 here. And so what we want to see in the bullish scenario is the double bottom right at above 44,000. We want to bounce. So if there is a bullish setup, okay, which there is a slightly higher case for a bullish setup. Okay, it's greater than 50% chance just upon the indicators because you have MACD momentum, histogram pointing up. We have an upside down head and shoulders on the RSI. That's bullish in the day charts. We're holding just below the 200 EMA. Okay, that's not the greatest thing to happen. But if we interpret this as a potential double bottom in the price, right where my highlighter is, Okay, we could double bottom like this up. So there's a potential 10% to maximum like 25% or 20%. So if someone were to hypothetically take this trade, and again, this is not financial advice, this is just me talking about my opinion. All right, so it looks like Bitcoin moves average about 6%. So it looks like a 7% stop loss, which is average in swing trading with the target of at least 14%, which could be the top of that W, the double bottom. So Bitcoin, if the bulls come back in force in the next couple of weeks, presuming that the crypto market does not crash, we could see this 14% upside target on Bitcoin. Okay, but since we are in a new month, in a new week, it is important though to not get too biased in one direction, and we'll in our minds, and we'll just zoom out to the monthly because we just had the monthly close. There is some monthly weakness that's showing on the charts. Okay, a little bit of loss of momentum on the monthly chart. So the next year, okay, you could see here, if we lose 40,000, 37,000, 33,000, that could be our double top bearish setup, okay? It could turn to an M and go down. So this is kind of a key critical level that we need to hold above the 44,000. For sure, the $44,000 Bitcoin level if you want to see bull momentum in the next 3 to 6 months. So weekly, we kind of see the same issue here. It's hard to see with all my drawings, but what I'm talking about is the actual price pattern. We have the double top here, the blue. Okay, this is my idea in my profile that if we don't have enough bullish buyers because of the high Bitcoin price right now, relatively high, you can have a double top bearish reversal pattern. So I'm giving people 2 scenarios, okay, and that could be devastating for the crypto market. So the 44,000 to 40,000 is an absolutely critical level that the bulls need to hold and defend in the market. I know people are coming back from vacation and holidays. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy holidays. And but the stock market's about to move in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Volatility incoming, everybody. So it's the calm before the storm. The stock market volatility storm. 4 hours still in our downtrend. Here you can see our downtrend, but we're finding this support in the $45,000 range here. 1 hour, let's take a peek here. It's not the lowest ever, but the 1 hour could also bounce up to 48,000 on the chart. All right, so I just gave people the bearish scenario and the bullish scenario for swing traders and investors. So we'll just please keep that in mind, those 2 scenarios. All right, let's do some altcoins. Going to try to move faster for the last 22 minutes of crypto. If you have a crypto request, please type it in the TradingView, YouTube, or just Twitch chat boxes. Let me know. Let's move on to Ethereum. Here we go. Ethereum. Thank you everyone for joining. Ethereum. All right, so Ethereum, we can see we're still in the daily downtrend in the price. Looking at this daily chart, you can see we're in the downtrend on the price. But again, people are really excited about this potential higher low, the support above $3,500 right here. It's just kind of fading down in there. We could draw a small triangle like that and a wedge. All right, but the larger trend has been lost. We needed to hold the 4,000 range and bounce, but Bitcoin couldn't, the crypto market could not do that. So zooming out again to our monthly, you want to watch out for we are potential starting of monthly consolidation. Why? Because if we use monthly Elliott wave, you might see, we could see this pattern already completed. The 5 waves up. It took 2 years to go up. The Elliott wave, 5 waves up. So in a bearish scenario, we could get the ABC correction back down, confirming our head and shoulders and pull back deep down, low Ethereum price. So that's the bearish setup for probably 1 or 2 years if we don't continue to hold these support levels strongly. Meaning people need to get hyped up and buy crypto, or else crypto's in trouble in the short term to medium term, because the price cannot sustain itself forever at a relative high. People need, if the price is going to go up, people need to buy. Physical people, real humans, need to come into the crypto exchange and buy to defend the price. It's a battle. So you want to watch out for this, right? It's a potential just consolidation on the weekly, but look at all the support to the downside that we have on Ethereum. Zoom into our day. Take a larger perspective. All right, I'm seeing there's this very large trend line here. Let's just get this on the charts. All right, so you can see also in the larger extended trend line, we are just literally touching the support trend line that I just drew. Let me make it a different color, like pink or something. A big pink purple line. This is our huge trend line. So if we're going to bounce, it's going to be somewhere here. All right, so that's why the bullish scenario, there's a possibility for it just because we're on this much larger trend line. Let me erase all these for a second. You can see we just bounced. We're literally touching the 2-year diagonal support trend line. So if we're going to bounce, it's going to be somewhere in this range. Now, if we Fibonacci from bottom to top, if it's not going to bounce here, it might bounce at 3,000, 2,500, or 2,000, those 3 levels, okay? So this is the first potential bounce at the 3,600 level. There's 4 levels before Ethereum is in big trouble, right? If the price keeps going like that for 6 months, then Ethereum is in huge trouble to the downside. All right, so this is probably the first area that day traders and swing traders this coming month are going to try to attempt above 3,600. So just keep that in mind. Yes, on the 4 hours, we're still in this downtrend, but it's just touching that support. That if it doesn't hit this support, we're looking at 3,000 to 2,800 support on the downside. All right, so be careful of that. Binance Coin, a little trickier. Binance Coin. All right, there's a lot of drawings here, so we'll just start over. The only important one we need to get on the charts right away is the resistance on the top. Okay, so if we look at the monthly, we could have just set a monthly double top. Literally, we could be looking at the top of Binance Coin at this point in time as an investor. If we just look at the charts, right? This is an uptrend. This is a double top. It's hitting the resistance at 660 US dollars. So if we cannot break above this, this is why we could be in trouble. It's flagging at this point. We can measure this move. 172%. Okay, that's a little bit ridiculous. So 80%. So at a worst case scenario, Binance Coin could crash down 80 to almost nothing, right? And in extreme bearish case, okay, that would basically bring us back down to $100 Binance Coin. If you Fibonacci this whole thing, that makes sense. Okay, somewhere down here, it might stop at like 250 on the way down or 300. But you understand what I'm saying though, is that if we cannot break above the resistance of 600, say in the next 1 to 2 years on a monthly chart, this could be in big trouble, right? We draw the trend line here. It could be also interpreted as, on the bullish case, if we start getting momentum, again, this is like every crypto right now, is the potential flag ascending triangle, all right, the continuation. So you could actually measure this in the medium term, okay? All right, we have a request for some of the psychedelic stocks, which we'll do in the second half. If you can give me the ticker symbol and trading view, we'll look at some of those. It's interesting. We're going to do about 15 more minutes of crypto. All right, so you can see here that the intermediate is there's a potential target, bullish target of $800 on Binance Coin if we get the bullish momentum going. So you can see on Ethereum and Binance Coin, the support trend line right here in the blue dot. You guys see that? Everybody sees that, right? So it's tightening range. We could have a bearish breakdown in a worst case scenario, but in a bullish good case scenario, we break out, retest, and then we're up to, you know, it's $500, $600, $800, $1,000 Binance Coin. It's definitely possible. It depends on which way the market is going to go in terms of the price action. Okay, let's do a couple more quick ones. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Cardano. Again, Cardano just holding support above $1.25. It's been holding that for a while now. We want to watch out for is, just like Bitcoin, Cardano is fading down out of this descending triangle down. We hit the measure move to the trend line support. Trend line support. Right, the yellow line. That's what we're staring at right now. And there's a horizontal support here as well, which we should get on the charts. Okay, so there's this X marks the spot. I always like to say somewhere above $1. All right, we might see the continuation bounce of Cardano hitting this 2-year trend line. If not, right, it could go like this, right? We could go here. Again, watch out for the bearish and bullish setups, everyone. I'm just pointing that out. Yes, we'll get to stocks. We'll get to stocks. But a lot of people, a lot of my followers they came here for crypto. So we'll do crypto live streams. If you want to see Tesla, if you want to see, if you want to see stocks, please type the ticker symbol in the chat box. We'll get to it in about 15 minutes. So Solana, you watch out for this. Watch out for this. Potential head and shoulders right here on the day chart. Very, very suspicious pattern. Not looking so hot for Solana, okay? Can it be fake? It could be fake, yes, meaning that just like this, we get a consolidation and then a rally up. So this could be a fake out, right? This could also be interpreted as a higher low, and you could also go up. So what would be the measured move of that? Intermediate term, like a 25% or something like 25 to 50%. All right, so our resistance 266, our support is 150, immediate resistance 200. So you just watch for the break of those two. Can we draw a trend line? We can. We just lost it. All right, so you want to watch out for that. We just lost it on Solana. Okay, Dogecoin. This has a little bit of relationship to Elon Musk. Let's go ahead and get this big Fibonacci up here. All right, so we have this large Fibonacci. You can see we're playing above the 786 here on Dogecoin USDT. We have a death cross. Let me check these other ones. We have death cross on Cardano. We have death cross on Dogecoin. So watch out for that. That's why I'm not super bullish right now, because the technicals at this moment in time of the stream is very bearish in the short term, because you have in the medium term, because you have death crosses. We are not up cross like in December 2020. So that's why anyone super hyped on crypto, I would caution it right now. Caution, you want to see the evidence confirmed first on counterbody closes on the chart before we get hyped on crypto, right? So we do not want to get hyped on any idea in our minds just because it's a new year, right? Anything is possible. If you study the charts, you go backwards in Bitcoin, crypto has crashed. Think about 2018. Okay, that's one big one. 2018, 2020. All right, so watch out. Dogecoin, yes, we did hit that low oversold, but we are still finding support on the downside here. Okay, on the downside. It's not the lowest low of RSI of all time. So for now, what I'm going to do is just give support and resistance levels. What we want to watch out for is we have support at 15 cents, resistance at 19 cents right here. So the break of either of these two directions will give us some clue. But the large triangle pattern here, 68% up or down, probably more like 15 to 30, like 20%. So if we have, let's say from the breakout, if we do the support from the bottom side, 20% will bring us back up to like 20 cents. If it breaks out here above 20 cents, probably 25 cents to the next target on the top side, 20 to 25 cents. But again, it's not at this, I don't see a huge pattern on the daily yet. It's not ready yet. Dogecoin will follow along. It's an altcoin. Somebody could say, it's such a dirty pattern. I'm not going to call it, but there's a little bit of support here above 15 cents. All right. So as long as it stays inside of the triangle, Dogecoin is okay, the yellow triangle. But in terms of not crashing, right? I'm saying this. If this happens, that's bad, right? But the angle of this is a downtrend. Okay. I hope everybody realizes that. It's angling down right now. This is not going up at this point in time. So watch out for it. Let's do Shiba Inu because that one's related to Dogecoin. All right. So right here, we'll look at Shiba Inu and we'll get some of the Fibonacci. And again, I remember last month I was saying, is this a cup and handle pattern? Maybe. Okay, let's not get too excited about that. The cup and handle should, if it's perfect paper cup and handle textbook, it should have came down like this. So to me, this is maybe or not really. Okay, so don't get too excited about that. But if it is, I mean, this would be one of the greatest crypto investments like of all time because it's so cheap. But we already had that support. We already had this massive rally. Now it's fading down to where? Fading down into just below the 618, and it's trying to establish some kind of upside down head and shoulders pattern, meaning it's trying to find support right here on the horizontal yellow line, which I'm about to draw. It's trying to put it right here. Traders are trying to keep it alive. If in a bear scenario we go down below 3,000 Shiba Inu price, SHIB's in big trouble, right? But the trend line's already broken out of that. So it looks like what traders are trying to do, people are trying to do, is establish a higher low and at least retrace probably back to the 4,500 range. Alrighty, so this is not the safest trade of all time, but you know, if I was going to risk 1% of my capital on this, I would do it, right? Just because it's Shiba Inu. Right, but 1% of capital. So again, the risk management, if example for me is to you educational, is if you have a $10,000 account, 1% of the account is $100. Okay, so a 10% stop loss means the position money used for this trade is only $1,000. It's not $10,000. If you put all your money account $10,000 into this one trade, you risk 10% and you lose it. You lost 10% of your equity. You lost 10% of your account. Now you need to make 11% to make it back, which could be difficult for a beginner trader or intermediate trader, right? Or any trader at all. Okay, you're gonna have to wait for that. But if you only use a percentage of your capital, and you risk 10% of the stop loss, so that you only risk 1% total account equity, which is $100. Right, you're thinking, oh, that's so small money. Then it's up to you to manage your own risk tolerance. But the more money you lose total account equity, the harder it is to make that money back. Okay, so that's just an example. That goes for stocks too. So we're on the H1 now on this chart. It's still trying to hold above the 618 right here in this higher low. And the theme of this year is going to be risk management. Okay. Even if stock or crypto moons, it's okay, right? The question is not about how much of these other assets are moving volatility-wise, is are we being profitable traders, consistent profitable traders? That's the real question of this year. I think I could just feel it right now, just in the market because of what's happening. People are tired, right, of the global situation. And it's going to be about discipline this year. It's going to be about you know, sticking to your plan, sticking to your strategy, the risk management, not FOMOing into every single hype trade of the day or the week. So let's get support and resistance, and we'll move on. Support 2743, resistance 4012. There's a very, very intermediate support right here, 2952. So those are two things I'll be watching right now, just because the steepness of this wedge, downward descending wedge, that's measurable to 20%, right? So as long as it holds above this blue line area, above 3,000, we're okay, because we have a support on the side as well. All right, let's do rapid fire, and then we'll just see if we find anything before we move on here on these USA Binance charts, the USA crypto charts. So Uni just consolidating, kind of going sideways in this descending triangle. We lost the trend line. Okay, let me get rid of these lines here. You can see measurable, right? There's going to be a move happening in crypto in either direction. You just want to watch out for that. All right, so support $14, resistance $20. Next, Litecoin. Litecoin kind of consolidating to the side. You see here, right? Litecoin at a support trend line level and a horizontal support as well, which is 140. You have the target up here of 191, bull target, bear target $107. And if an altcoin is consolidating like this, it just proves to me and shows that Bitcoin needs to make the move first. Okay, Bitcoin Cash. This is kind of a short, there's not enough price action on this chart, but you can see the support trend line has been lost. Okay, so I'm being very realistic right now on these charts. Are we uptrending? No, we are not. On Bitcoin Cash, no, we are not. We're actually downtrending into a death cross. So the chances are slightly higher on some of the altcoins that's bearish. The only thing that can save it is Bitcoin needs to rally up to save the market. Okay, so we have our support at 410, 412, and also you can see the short-term double top right here. That could be potentially bad. That could be 40% down, bringing us back to 222 price. Want to watch out for that. All right, so support is the name of the game right now, meaning is it going to hold support, yes or no? That's the big question in crypto. Okay, Link already fell out of the upward ascending wedge. There's a new pattern forming. This one's looking a little suspicious right here. See, we have that weekly double top. I'm on a weekly chart now. You can see, did we hit the measure move 40% to the downside? Almost. Oh, we did. Okay, but this looks like it could turn into a potential downtrend. It's consolidating right now. See, so what people need to understand is that just because something trends up for a long time does not mean it's going to go up forever. Okay, this was an uptrend. This is sideways consolidation. I'm not excited about that. I need to see a break, a clear break, either direction, strong momentum, up or down. That needs to happen in the next 3 to 6 months in the crypto market. Algo. Let's see. We have our trend line down here. We have our second trend line. So we're bouncing off our second trend line on Algo. I know the color is kind of strange, but I want it to really pop for people so they can see this and understand what is it that I'm looking at. So we're basically in the upper wedge like this. So again, Algo is a little more popular in the US. So we bounced off this trend line in the blue, the support trend line. So where's the resistance target? The resistance target, $2, $2.25, $2.50. The support to the downside, 157 and 145. All right. So you can see here, it's going to be an interesting move. If Algo and Bitcoin can sustain their moves up, you might see $3 Algo again. The higher high, higher low pattern is intact. Just a matter of, can we get enough buyers this month or not? All right, we'll do crypto for a couple more minutes. Just take a quick look here. MATIC. All right. You can see here the triangle pattern just got broken out of, but it's looking more like a channel now of MATIC. All right, let's check our EMA. Still holding that uptrend, but it's so tight, it's getting kind of suspicious looking, right? It could just drop out of there, right? This reminds me of September 7th Bitcoin. If you have a very obvious uptrend, and then at some point, if you can't hold the support level, the yellow trend line is going to break down. So I'd be careful on MATIC. The immediate supports are $2.22 and $2. Resistance is $2.42 and $2.80. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. It's not the lowest point of momentum in time on a 4-hour chart. So you might see a little bit pullback on MATIC. XLM, okay, so we had the support level breakdown. Let's see, do we death cross? Yeah, we death crossed on Stellar. And it could have been just the holidays, Omicron, like no one cares about crypto if the life gets hard. You know, students had finals. You know, employees had a very hard time with Omicron. Families had a hard time just trying to get through the holidays. We're all coming back right now. And what I'm trying to do is be very objective with the charts. So what we want to be careful of, and I see it happen every year, is when we come back from holidays, people are usually feeling good, right? So that's why today was like a good day. There's some good fundamental news in stocks and whatnot. But realistically on the charts, the evidence that we're seeing is we're having a lot of support breakdowns in the crypto market. That's not good. We're having death crosses on a daily in a crypto market. That is not good. Okay, so I'm being very realistic right now. Until I see an up cross, a golden cross again on everything like we saw last year or 1.5 years ago, then I'll get hyped and excited about crypto. But for now, I am not that excited right now because this is showing weakness in the market temporarily. So support at 25 cents on Stellar, resistance 30 cents. So I'll just watch for the break of that. And trying to hold the higher low here. We're trying to. Alrighty, so just watch out for that. This is measurable, the little triangle here. So about 30%. If this holds, then we could see a resistance target above at 35 to 40 cents. Could be nice target. Do a couple more here, and then we'll just get off to move on to stocks. Let me get on with the schedule here. So Atom, let's see, Cosmos. Is there a hidden trend line? There is, but did we touch it? No. So that's the thing. Some of these supports, we're not going to touch it exactly, but it does exist here. Cosmos, Atom reminds me of ALGO a little bit. Okay, so if it's going to try to maintain an uptrend, then the obvious target is somewhere up here like 52, 60, 70 in the resistance to the upside. Okay, but if it falls down, if it just gets rejected from 43, you could see the obvious trend line support at like a 26. So that's where something I would be looking for if you're looking for deep value on Cosmos. I mean, if you're looking for ultimate value on Cosmos, it's literally $15, $16 right there. All right, Filecoin, and I'm not going to do all the small ones. Filecoin broke out to the downside. It is seeking its lower lows, so it's probably going to need to get really oversold before people buy this thing again. This is downtrending. Watch out for Filecoin. Death Cross. There might be a bounce, but it's not uptrending anymore. VeChain, Death Cross, not good for the altcoins. And again, what can fix this problem is if Bitcoin rallies up back up to like 50 to 60,000, then you see all these altcoins are going to bounce up. But for now, in this moment in time, January 3rd, everything is consolidating around support right now with death crosses. Okay, so that's not good on a daily. Also, again, we lost the trendline support. We just lost it in the past 2 weeks. So watch out for that. Consolidation. There could be potential nice trade here, but it has to bounce. It has to bounce. A 4 hour, 1 hour. All right. Ethereum Classic broke bear. Did hit that oversold target. Let me redraw this. So Ethereum Classic had a huge, nice year last year. So obviously the very steep trend line has been lost. And it's still downtrending here like this. So it's seeking out its lowest low right now. In the charts, death cross again on Ethereum Classic. Be very careful on Ethereum Classic. Where's the next support? $24. Ecstasy already hit its 786 bounce. So let's see. As long as it holds the support above the trend line, it should be fine on a weekly chart. If we lose that $3 to $4 range of support, Ecstasy is in trouble. I'm not going to do every single crypto, but we need to get the stocks. A very similar pattern on like almost all the smaller coins. They usually follow each other. AMP it's at support, but it's still okay. AMP could rally. It's possible. It's so high, but then the pattern right now, if we don't look at that one spike, it could be an ascending triangle possible. So AMP is looking very suspicious. One still trying to hold the uptrend. One trying to break out to blue sky territory. One Harmony, it does have an upside down head and shoulders, but not after a significant downtrend. So this is a little suspicious to me. I'm gonna believe it once we break above 40 cents resistance. Till then, I'm not gonna bite that. I'm not gonna take that. Dash below the trend line. Let's see, it looks like death cross. Yep, death cross. This one actually has a little bit of RSI momentum, so Dash is more correlated with Bitcoin on the potential bounce. Everything I said about Bitcoin kind of applies to Dash. Let's keep going here. See, these other ones like Mana, be careful of Mana, right? This one's already forming a type of head and shoulders pattern, so be careful of Mana. Try not to FOMO into this. 50%. This thing could crash negative 50% and still be fine in terms of an uptrend, $1.60, right? Because it could do this and then go up, or Mana could just be done for now. So watch out for that. That's why we need to be objective about the charts. ICX looks like it just found some 618 or 786 support. Yep. Rally and fall back down. So this is what you want to watch out for in the market. When you have an uptrend like that at the yellow line, it's like September 7th. Okay, but if we zoom out a little bit, okay, it is at the trend line, the larger term trend line support. All right, so that's the story of coins right now. Could go either way. Consolidation. ENJ, watch out for this. Let's see what the EMA is. It's still uptrending. ENJ actually holding because we had this nice upside down head and shoulders into the double top, and then this is consolidation downtrend potential, right? It could be either consolidation or turn to a downtrend. So watch the support of 250 and the resistance of $3. All right. See if anything's very, very suspicious or not. All right, so let's move on to stocks now. So before we get to our usual like Tesla, RIVN, and some of these stocks, I do have to remind people that we are literally we are starting earnings season in 1 week from now. Okay, so stock market is going to see some serious volatility in the stocks, individual stocks, and the index in 2, 3, and 4 weeks from now. Basically for January, earnings season will last for about 3 to 4 weeks, starting with the financial bank stocks in just a week from now. Okay. Also, the Federal Reserve tapering program is still ongoing, and the FOMC chairman Jerome Powell and his team, they're going to be managing that. They said they have their foot on the gas and the brake, right? So they're gonna basically taper their purchase of bonds, their support of the market, the bond market, up or down as needed, right? So we're getting extra volatility right now. Plus, we have Omicron still affecting the economy. So let's take a quick 30-second break because I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch right now. I have a free Discord group. The social media links are on my profile right now. Tier donations and donations are always appreciated to keep the streams going. This year, it buys me coffee. It buys me and help support the TradingView charts so we can keep doing quality streams, TA, and education and analysis. So if you want to join the free Discord group, it's open right now. All right, so we have to talk about the indexes first, okay? So I'm showing a process, a disciplined process of why I do not just jump into individual altcoins or stocks, is because we have to understand the big picture first. This is definitely what the professionals do. They take a top-down approach, meaning they pick the industry first and then they drill down into an individual stock. So yes, I'm aware that EV stocks and tech stocks rallied today, okay? Off good news, and there's off technical setup as well. But again, if we back up a little bit and zoom out, and then look at the stock market, understand where we are, it's slightly different story. What do I mean by that? Dow Jones Industrial, we're looking at a monthly here, okay? There is diverse bearish momentum pulling to the downside. It's building. It could take another year or two in the stock market for the crash, right? No, or not a crash, but for a pullback. But it's definitely possible. The weekly, though, on our weekly chart for the next couple of months is showing, yes, we could have bullish momentum to the upside in the next couple of months. Our uptrend is still intact on the weekly. All right, so also our uptrend is still intact on the daily. We just had the Omicron crash problem, but our higher low our higher low above 35,000 still held. And I remember a couple weeks ago in the stream, I was saying this could be a potential setup. Excuse me, 1 second. Okay, so I'm talking about right here, our 35,000. Right there, 35,000. All right, so where are our targets? It's already, I said in the free Discord already, where the targets are on the upside and downside. So I don't think I need to repeat myself there. But this is the big question, is this going sideways to me in a opening broadening wedge megaphone formation is not really the most bullish powerful pattern of all time, right? If you just see this is indecision, this is negative effects of Omicron and the Federal Reserve tapering program, and Tesla sell-off too is in here. So this is not a clear uptrend, right? What was a clear uptrend? 2020 to 2021, April to April. That's a clear uptrend, all right? So I want to burn this into like our memory. All right, let's keep this in our memory. This is an uptrend in the blue circle. Where we are right now is kind of losing a little bit of power. It could continue up or down. It just depends on the fundamentals, okay? So that's the big picture that we're working with right now. Where's our target? Dow Jones. Psychological 37K. We could do about $2,000 or $200 increments. So 37.2, 37.5, something like that. Okay, but this thing, we just had the higher low bounce, and we're going to seek out our higher high in the next week, and then we're going to see volatility in this area because it's stock market. So watch out for that. The support to downside 36.3, 36, 35.7, right? You want to watch out for that. SPX, why is this important? Because the S&P 500 represents 80% of the USA stock market. If you master SPY, if you master SPX on the charts, you will have a easier time trading. Okay, for example, I knew exactly I need to long stocks right here and here. Okay, and on the dips, right? Because I'm looking at SPY and SPX. Okay, and we're keeping up with some of these tech stocks. All right, the problem happens when people are not doing their charts, and then it goes up a lot, and then they try to buy at a relative top in blue sky breakout territory at the highest of all time. That has the highest risk of crashing down on you or pulling back down on you. That's why a lot of traders lose money. They're not buying at the right spot, or not buying at a spot of value. Okay, so you want to buy on dips. You want to buy on low price. You want to buy on low indicators, right? Whatever it is, the strategy that you're using, if you're a bull, if you're green, you want to buy when it's low and manage your risk. You put small risk, not big risk, right? Thank you for the follow. So that's what you want to see, right? But again, this is not the prettiest chart of all time. It's so weird looking, right? It's kind of choppy. What I want to see price action happen again is this action, right? Clear uptrend, very clear. This was clear as well in October to November. December is not so clear. January is not so clear. We're in there right now, right? So you can see when we draw this, we're at the top of the wedge, okay? So if we break out, this could be our bull breakout if earnings is great, starting with the financials and tech sector. If not, you could see it's pullback. Easy to pull back at where? 4,700, 4,650, all these levels, somewhere right here. Lowest like a 45. Okay, and then our targets to the upside 48, 48.67, 4900, right? Or just $50 increments if you want to make it easy. But again, where was our spot of value? It was already here. Okay, so trying to long here is on like every single stock in your portfolio could be much, much riskier. All right, so watch out for that. We'll do one more and then we'll move on to EV stocks, and then we'll do the psychedelic stocks. Let's do IXIC and we'll do some tech stocks. This is NASDAQ. All right, so NASDAQ, you know, I'm a fan of tech stocks. Most people are. Now we look at our big trend lines for 2021. This one we got to tighten it up a little bit more. I'll just redraw it. We use extended. I like extended because it just goes on forever. So you only have to draw it once, really. Nice little trick. Okay, so we're in here. Tech stocks still trying to maintain its higher low off these support levels. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the upside target is like a 16.4K, 17K, somewhere up here in this range. Okay, that is the upside target on resistances here in the market. So the support area 15,000, 14.8, 14.7, right? You want to watch out. You want to watch out for that, okay? Because this is kind of chop right here. This is Omicron chop. Fears, uncertainty, doubt. So the earnings report in the next 2 to 4 weeks is going to give us a clear direction. Are we going to bull market to start off the year? Or are we going to bear market? It's Q4 2021. It's the last 3 months earnings. So watch out for that. The key level support that's holding us up for now is 15,623. Okay. It looks like on our H1, it is uptrending. All right. So you just want to see if we can hold that on our H1. SPX, it's already a little bit high. Same thing with Dow Jones, but our IXIC is trying. Okay, Russell 2000 is also trying. It's trying right now to start off the year. Alrighty. So let's get into some Tesla EV stocks because everybody loves those. All right. Tesla. We'll just do like 15-20 minutes and then that'll be it for this trip. So Tesla. EV stocks had a great day today. Why? Because of potential news on the Q4 deliverables. All right. So this is a clear lesson right here in that fundamental news for stocks is greater than technical charts. Okay. So the fundamentals news, what do I mean? So news from the company, anything good or positive about the company, the financial reports, the earnings reports, the filings, not just indicators, okay? Technical analysis is only like 25 to 50% of the puzzle, right? I would say it's only 25%. You know, the other 25% is fundamentals, and the other 50% is just risk management and position management, to be honest. Like if you just had to segregate it like that in 3 columns, right? So where was a good spot of value of Tesla? Right here at 900. This is where a lot of people exited their shorts and options, their put options, right? Just because they know it's a psychological number. Also, it was the 50% retrace level, okay? And we had this wedge that we drew here on the upside, but I remember I think I said if we have the breakout retest set up, we could see continuation like this. I think I said that. But if not, this is what happens, right? You pull back, it up crosses, and you get news, and then you get a gap up. That happens a lot in stocks. Okay, so it's not that surprising. Also, on the 1 hour and the H1, it was already building momentum for the last week. Okay, it would have been a different story if there's no good news and this thing started fading. Then shorts would have attacked it down, probably back down to back down to like 930. But this is a clear case of you get some momentum going on, you fade, you consolidate, fade back inside down to support, almost $1,000. You have good news and you pop up. The problem is a lot of people are going to try to FOMO on this trade tomorrow, right? I'm not touching this at all. Why? Because according to my strategy, my indicators, this thing's too overbought. For me, I'm not touching this now. No way, right? This is where the discipline of if you miss a move or you didn't buy it or whatever, you know, your setup or whatever it was, if you miss it, just walk away, right? Learn from it, but walk away. You don't have to chase every single trade. It could keep going higher, but that's Wall Street bets and that's Reddit people buying this. So for me, I'm not buying this in the short term, right? As a bull long, why? Because there's 7 to 10% risk to the downside. This is not the spot to buy. The spot to buy, if I was going to long it, was here off the $1,000 range, right? That's a setup. That's a real setup. And there's momentum. That's the spot to buy it. On a 15-minute, 1 hour chart, that was a spot, right? But a 4 hour, it's getting to that overbought level. It could hit. We could see continuation. So let's get the targets up here. Bullish targets, 1245, 1300. Okay. Let's use our Fibonacci trend extension just to see where exactly can we go. Right? If we hit our resistance, it could go all the way to 1300 if we have non-stop continuation. Why? Because some people try to short it here and so there's a little bit of short squeeze, right? Just because there's so many green candles there, that's what it shows me, right? People are thinking, it might fall back down, but they got squeezed out. Plus the bulls came back in full force this morning. So our 1272 and our 1618 are the big targets if you're a super bull on Tesla. 1336, 1400. It might not get there though. So you're gonna watch out for that. Yeah, we already hit the R5 pivot, so watch out for that tomorrow. Intermediate, like short-term trend line. excuse me, short-term oscillators, it is looking overbought. So this thing could pull back short-term tomorrow anywhere on these EMAs. 1195 is support, 1175, 1146, 1120. 1120 would be an interesting short-term spot of value for tomorrow's trade. But for me, I stay clear of these because I'm a swing trader. For me, I like to buy this stuff down here at 900, 925, right? Because it's low. This is not low for me anymore. So I'm going to let this one go. But, you know, Tesla is really good to learn from in terms of like technical analysis, fundamental analysis, like news, right? Tesla is such an actively traded stock. It's very, very good to learn from and trade Tesla if you buy at the right spot. So again, if you're a bull, you always want to buy at low spots. Low spots, relatively, okay? And then when it's happening on the chart vertically, like this, like we didn't know it was gonna rally, but you could draw the targets, right? So you just know, oh, well, it's at a support level. I'm gonna buy it down here and trade and risk a portion of my capital percentage, right? Not all in now. That's very dangerous. That's FOMO and that's very risky, right? So again, it's just educational. All right, so hopefully I explained that, the hourly and the 4 hour, okay? So basically in a nutshell, our Tesla stock trend is trying to seek out its higher high tomorrow, and then it's going to stop at some point and then pull back like this. If it's textbook trading, okay? If it's Wall Street bets Reddit bull buying mania, then it'll go as high as it can in the day session, and then it'll crash like maybe in the post market the next morning, right? But this looks like just continuation to me. So seeking out the higher high, trying to conform to this pattern, the textbook pattern. Also, Elon Musk, it's not, I forgot if he's done selling his shares or not, his 10% or something like that. But, you know, that fear has been priced in the market, so people are not really afraid of that anymore. They're just playing the charts now, feels like. All right, Rivian. Let's go to Rivian. We'll go to NIO as well. We'll check out Hertz as well. That doesn't move that much. But Rivian, alrighty, Rivian, we could see today was a red day, but still it was 15 to 7% off its relative low. Okay, so here's an example of like an IPO. I don't really touch IPOs until I see something very, very strong that's happening on the chart. And what I'm seeing though is the downtrend pattern could possibly be reversed now. So if the stock market continues to rally EV stocks, then Rivian, this might have been the relative low of Rivian for the past couple months, 88.45. So how do we plan for this? Try to trade it is 107 is our resistance, $99 is our support. You could draw a trend line on the bottom side here. We did just kind of lose that right here. So you want to watch out for that. All right. We have to zoom in because it's IPO. There's not much price data to work off of. Again, very suspicious. If it continues 1 or 2 more days, we will have our 1 hour golden cross, and then you'll start to see a little bit more traders come into the market. You could see potential ascending triangle type of formation. Okay, right here. So if Rivian's going to go, it's going to bounce off this low of 100. So let's say if I'm risking 1% of my educational capital example, easy stop loss. This might be tight, but at a very minimum, 3 to 6%. 6% reward for 3% risk. Okay, let's just check. Let me see. How much does this move in the hour? $1.23. So average, yeah, but 1%. So that's fair. That's a fair trade, right? And then you could see a lot of people are going to FOMO if it breaks above this blue line, the 107, because if it does this, retest, and then you could see it try to hit that next resistance of like a 110 to 120 to the upside. Okay, so this is potential setup in the works. Now what's going to matter is tomorrow, are people going to buy this or not? That's the big question. Is it popular? It needs good news for that to be certain. But is it the lowest price of all time for Rivian? No, it's not. On H1, for a swing trade, it's not really. The better spot was back here at 99 or 98, right? And then someone be up like 6% at this point in time. Okay, so again, we're looking for value, looking for low value. If you're a swing trader investor, you're always looking for discount or low price. You never want to really be chasing. If you feel like you're chasing stocks and crypto and you're always missing something, that means you probably have to do more technical analysis drawings ahead of time and save it and alerts and get ahead of the trade by like a month or a couple of weeks. That's what I just did on Coin, BKKT, American Airlines, and Bitcoin. Okay, that's why I always go down through my usual list and then try to, disciplined trading, no chasing. As soon as we chase, you're probably going to lose in the market. Okay, just my experience. All right. Let's do some of these psychedelics because these are really interesting. Okay, I'm not really an IPO guy, so why? Because Warren Buffett taught me to he does not trade IPOs at all. So, I learned from him. So I don't do that. But we can look at it, see if we find anything. Okay. Oh, this one has some price data though. Okay, so CYBN, hold on, let me look at all these. Let me just make a quick psychedelics watch list because I know that's popular. Let's just do this. So let's do a little tutorial real fast. I'm gonna make a watch list right now. This thing changed. We create new list. Psychedelic stocks. Always good to have your watch list on here. I know there's probably ETF. I'll find it some other day, but let's add CYBN. Let's add all this. MMED, CMPS, PSYB, FTRP, DMT, SEEL. And why is this important is because just like MJ 3 years ago, right? If psychedelics get legalized in some medical use or something like that, right? This is getting kind of too ahead of the market, but same thing. I'm still aware of marijuana stocks, right? Because legalization, if that keeps going, like CGC, Cron, Tilray, ACB, True Leave, STZ, MJ ETF, they might all rally at some point. It's just a matter of the fundamentals. So let's go down here. How I would look at this, okay, I'm more of a swing trader, longer term trader, okay? That's why I don't really IPO or day trade, that kind of stuff. But for now, what I'm seeing on the day chart is it's had a death cross, okay? So that means for now, the trend is not uptrending, okay? You did have the initial pop from the long time ago. I mean, every single stock went up in May 2020, but this is very weak price action to me right now on the charts. What's going to save the psychedelic market is it needs legalization and medical capacity for medicinal use, and we need real products and services, and the government, USA government and Canadian government, at least the USA government, somebody's got to legalize it for this thing to go higher. Okay, but for now, what I'm seeing on just support levels and resistance. So now that we know this thing is downtrending, okay, it's bouncing off its relative low on the RSI. It's in a 618 right now. So this could be an interesting bounce point for a swing trader. It's not the lowest low of all time, okay? But you have to remember, I was trading MJ stocks back in 2018. So what started the rally up was a little bit of legalization, right? And then the hype, and then when the USA, basically it was kind of more than 50% confirmed that USA is going to legalize marijuana and MJ. That's when you saw it really start to take off. But again, if we're using technical analysis, if we ask ourselves, is this the lowest price of CYBN of all time? No, it's not. But is it a relative low on the technical analysis indicators? Yes. Okay, so even though it's in a death cross, if somebody's going to try to take some of this trade, it's not the most liquid stock. I could see right here, it looks like a little bit of bot algorithm action trading, but it's in the 618. So just off technical level, 618 RSI low bounce, someone could risk 1% or a couple percent of their total account equity as a trade, right? These are much larger. These are much larger percentages. It's a very cheap stock. It's $1.22. It's like a crypto altcoin. So I'm used to this volatility, and so if you're not used to the volatility, anyone trading this, it's just like it's a penny stock essentially for now. So until something big happens, okay, yes, at a big bull market, just like MJ stocks, it could go to $5, $10, $20, but it could also crash. Meaning, if no fundamentals or no real significant developments happen in the psychedelic market, you could just continue to see this thing fade down. Why? Because you see here, we had this descending triangle formation and it broke bear down. Watch out for that. If it happens again, this thing could crash down 30 more percent, right? So it already hit 31%. It hit the bottom low and it's hesitating right here. So if bulls are going to buy it, the first spot would be somewhere around now, right? Because if it's going to bounce up, the retest would be the $1.69, the 50% retrace. So this could be a potential swing setup. But why did I start with indexes first? Is, you know, Tesla has more effect on the market than like the psychedelics and MJ at this point. So be very careful right now, because if this does not bounce up, let's say stock earnings happens in 2 to 4 weeks. Let's say it's mixed earnings for whatever reason because of Omicron and COVID, right? Unless we have fundamental news on psychedelics, this thing could fade down, short it down, meaning that's what fade down means. Short it down, or just you lose momentum to the downside, right? So where's the downside target just in case? 72 cents, 41 cents. I'm more interested as an investor if it ever gets down there. Okay? Because I'm sure you are as well. If it goes below $1, it's like, interesting, right? Might want to pick some CYBN up just as a future development play. But for now, swing traders, day traders, they might try to pick this up. Possible. But again, it's not. This is more of an investment because on the day trading side, I'm not really seeing a lot of signals to buy it yet, right? It's just the technical, it came down to this level. And so the last time it kind of came down to this kind of level, you see it had an upside down head and shoulders type of idea, and then it rallied up to the upside. Intraday, right? Our H1 is still downtrending. So please be careful. Please be careful. Because I've been through the MJ hype and legalization. I've also been through crypto as well. It's very similar how those markets work. Okay, we'll just look at a couple of these. I'm not going to do every single one of them. But you can see that it's starting to fade down, right? The price, because the initial hype, I remember like 6 months ago, it was very, people were more excited about it 6 months ago because there was it was trending, but now it's death cross, down trending, okay? So if educational wise, if you're an investor, if you're the most conservative investor, a lot of my mentors, they taught me don't buy downtrend. If you're a bull, don't buy downtrend because we do not know where the bottom is, right? If you're an investor, you want to buy uptrend because then it's higher chance it's actually going to go up. So if the fact that we have a death cross as an investor is not good, it's not good. As if you're a trader, if you're trying to day trade 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour swing trade, it's a different story. It's a different story, right? 5 minute, 15 oversold bounces, like sure, anyone could. Any trader could want to take those, but a swing trader right now, yes, it is getting into that zone of low 1 hour, 4 hour. So if someone wants to try to take the trade, manage your risk, and probably gonna have to risk 10% on the trade. It looks like the target, it wants to go down to 786 eventually. So you're gonna have to, if you buy this, educational wise, you might feel some pain on the way down, right? Again, the psychedelics need fundamental news changes. CMPS. Let's just do this real fast. Why am I spending a lot of time? Is because we haven't actually looked at psychedelics on stream. So this is good. Seeking out lower low, compass pathways at a low RSI. So this chart looks a little bit better. Okay. Let's see what the volatility is on compass. $88. This one's a little bit more manageable. So this one has some liquidity in it. least a 7% stop loss, maybe a 10% stop loss. I mean, if this thing really rallies, there could be like a 15 to 20% opportunity here on Compass. It is an ADS, okay? 4 hour, we are seeing some potential upside down head and shoulders momentum, double bottom on this price. So traders are getting a little interested in this. But long term, though, as an investor, this thing is downtrending. So, you know, I'm thinking more about swing trading right now at this point. Investor, I will invest when some big fundamental change happens with the government. CYBN is similar. This one does not have liquidity. Just look at the candles. PSYB, Cibio Therapeutics. Field Trip Health, FTRB. Death crossed, but also at the 0.88. So this one has a slightly higher chance of bouncing than some of the other ones because it's low RSI. You have MACD histogram up. It's at the 0.88 retrace in a death cross. So if it's gonna bounce, again, small percentage of capital. I mean, this one has anywhere between 20 to 50% upside if the bulls come in to buy this one. Field Trip Health's a better company. It's in the NASDAQ. All right, so DMT. As long as DMT stays above $11, okay, psychological, it's okay. Okay, it could even double bottom. This could be an interesting setup, double bottom, right? But if it loses it and continues the downtrend, then I'm not going to touch DMT. Celos Therapeutics, you can already see the death cross right here. This is why we have the upside down head and shoulders. You had a huge rally up and then fading down. Okay, so just because it was hyped last year doesn't mean it's hyped this year. It is right below the 786, but it's still downtrending. Okay, it's seeking out its lowest low right now on these charts. Charts are lagging. All right, but it's not the lowest low of all time. Yes, there is a 4 hour upside down head and shoulders. If we just measure this real quick, 5% up or down volatility on SEEL. If you lose the support down here, you could get negative 5 to 10%. So watch out for this one. But again, there are death crosses on everything. So a death cross, just technical wise, you see if there's no fundamentals changes in the industry, if there's a death cross, it's probably higher chance it's just going to go down. So as an investor, I mean, you might have to think of it like psychedelics are your all-in investment type of play. I'm not saying go all in. I'm just saying that you have to be comfortable with whatever. If you're trying to invest in psychedelics or MJ, like you might lose negative 50 to negative 80% of the investment. So small position size is key, and keeping on track of the fundamental news, as an example, is absolutely imperative. It's important. All right, let's move on. We'll do a couple tech stocks and then we'll end today's stream. I'll go a little bit over. If you have any last minute requests, go ahead and type it in. Really appreciate it. Usually I don't do every single guy's request, but that one's psychedelic. We haven't looked at that in a long time. Internet's lagging a little bit, or it's TradingView. While we're waiting, I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch right now. Oh, it looks like the stream connection, my internet connection is kind of fizzling out. So we'll end the stream soon. But there were a couple requests. I'll try to do these. Before we move on, let me just look at MJ really fast. Okay, so this is the MJ, that marijuana ETF. Okay, so you can see when we death cross and there's no fundamental news, you might see a deadly downtrend. Okay, so if somebody just bought here off support, they're down 40% on their account. So that's why I learned from all my experience of marijuana stocks, crypto, tech stocks, IPOs, is there has to be, for stocks, needs to be a real fundamental news reason, a whole industry change, government legislation, laws, bills being signed before it goes sky high up. Oh, thank you so much, Taylor, for the 200 coins. Thank you for watching and following and always being so encouraging. I really appreciate the 200 coins. What a great way to start off the new year. I hope your trades and your charts go very well this year. Thank you so much, Taylor. me see. Can I say thank you here? Thank you. Oh, I can. Great. So thank you for the follow. Thank you for the coin donation, cheer donation as well. So just want to point out very quickly on the MJ ETF. Okay, this is the marijuana ETF. All right, so you could see at a certain point, we did get that, volatility pump in 2018 August and after that. And I remember that it's because of legislation and then beginning of like 2018. All right, but the fact is, if there's nothing happening in the industry, again, you see that crash down negative 80% from the high here, negative 60%. So you want to watch out. We want to watch out. We don't want to get too hyped, like too early, because we might lose all of our investment money, and we never want that to happen, which is really bad. So it's at the 0.88 if you do the COVID low to the COVID high right now of MJ stocks. So again, MJ and psychedelics have some relationship. It could bounce. I'm not saying it's impossible. It could bounce, right? But one of the reasons we use TA is that we want to see is it trending or not, like is it popular or not on the charts. It's in a death cross at this point. What we want to see is conservative traders want to see the up cross and the uptrend start. Then you could buy in at least the beginning or the middle and not the top, right? Shorts are in complete control of MJ stocks and psychedelics at this point. So what I need to see on the charts is I need to see a huge pattern, either a higher high, higher low, reversal. So this could happen, and then higher high, and then this could higher low, and then we might retrace back up to 618. Or you have like a huge pattern like that. So it could take like 6 months to a year for an investor. Okay. But a day trader is watching this very closely. I'm still keeping, my eyes and ears open on MJ and psychedelics because, someday stocks like ACB, Aurora Cannabis, or CGC, Canopy Growth Company, right? Or Cron, the OG, the original MJ stocks. These are all oversold for such a long time, a year straight. Like it could just pop up in a matter of weeks. So I'm watching that closely as well. All right, somebody asked for ENPH and BE. Oh, Enphase and Bloom. Okay, so yes. So before I get into Enphase, and I don't know if this guy's still here, but what we want to do is maybe take a quick glance at the sector ETFs. Okay, so we just did the stock indexes, and we'll probably end here after these 2 or 4. Okay, EMPH and BE. So those are energy stocks. Now we looked at the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P, but the big index you want to look at ETF is the XLE, the energy sector ETF. Okay, so you don't want to only look at. Oh, you're still here. Okay, great. You don't want to just only look at like one stock, like a CEI or a EMPH, right? You just want to get a feel for or an idea of, well, what's happening in the entire sector. So here's what we just real fast. Are there trend lines here? Yes, there are. It's bouncing off of this trend line right now on the support side down here. And is there potential for upside? Yes, there is. But again, watch out for stocks. We have stock market earnings in the next week, for the next 3 to 4 weeks. We are going to see volatility either up, down, or sideways motion in the market. So is this a setup? It's not the perfect setup to buy low. September, the bottom of August, September was better. Low value, but it's still chopping around, trying to hold this. So the upside target for energy stock ETF is like $58.60. Okay, the support is 55 and 52 right there. We're just playing this little micro wedge right here. So if it rallies up, you can see it go up. If not, it's going to fade down. So once we understand, okay, we're in a general uptrend for these, now we'll drill down a little bit into Enphase. Enphase has their earnings in 57 days. BE has 37 days before earnings. So also you want to take into account oil and natural gas ETF. USO and UNG. The issue is, unless there's some fundamental reasons, right? We have to ask ourselves, for energy companies, it's all about the throughput, the output, the financials, the sales, okay? So the earnings can be very important. One thing I'm seeing on the end phase chart is a relatively low RSI point. You have some MACD histogram bullish momentum building off of the 200 EMA moving average. That is good. That's good for now. The problem is everyone, are all traders about to buy this thing? That's the question, right? Because we're always trying to capture value in the market and try to be profitable in our trades. But, you know, is it at the lowest spot of all time in end phase? No, but relative swing trading, I would say yes. Okay. It might go down to 170, but you could see that the very obvious support level right here is 170 to 165, right there in the blue circle, the blue dot. Okay, so what end phase is trying to do, just like old school natural gas, is try to maintain the support down here and then bounce up. So if that is true, you know, risking 1% capital to start off, if someone's a beginner trader or intermediate trader, is there's probably 10% stop loss. So only risking 1% of your account with a 10% stop loss. So again, if you have a $10,000 account, the position size is only $1,000. And your maximum loss would be $100 US dollars. But this is a great potential upside, is 5 to 1, basically a 4 to 1. That's a phenomenal risk to reward trade. So if you know this company well, you know the energy sector well, and we're about to go into earnings, somebody could try to take that risk, right? As a long. If you're trying to short this thing, I would wait till it gets up here to try to short it. You want to hit a resistance point and then make it, and you want to short it down. Right, so end phase, there might be something here. There's a potential setup. Let me see what the ATR is before we close out here. 350. So how much percent is that? Oh, it's something like 2%. So yeah, end phase energy, you could see the potential here, but it might pull back first. What was the next one? BE. Bloom Energy. Okay, this chart's different. This chart's different. If we look at a weekly though, I don't want to really call this, but let's just put I'm saying the upside down head and shoulders because people might get the wrong idea. But if Bloom Energy ever goes above $40, then you might see massive like Reddit Wall Street bets hype of this thing going to like $50 or $60 or $100 eventually if the company's good. So I'm not going to call that right now. But I'm saying that could happen on like the best case scenario ever for Bloom Energy. What I will do though is we have our support and resistance levels. We could Fibonacci that. We had the 618 bounce that already passed. Now we pulled back down. The RSI is low again. So there's upside down head and shoulders here. Same scenario, but it's not as clear. We might just get a reversal bounce, meaning if Bloom Energy holds above the higher low, we could bounce up to $28.18. So here I would do the same thing. 10%, and you try to make your 20%, and then small amount of capital just because the indicators are saying something might bounce, and XLE is an uptrend. So this is a trade, a more investing trade somebody could want to take with a small amount of capital. You might have to wait though. How long do you have to wait? You might have to wait 4 months to get the 20%. So again, these are not the most liquid, hottest stocks in the world, but if you know the industry well, the charts are saying it's a potential bounce, but don't all in, you know what I mean? Because if it's wrong, then we would have lost -10 to -20% of total capital, which is absolutely unacceptable. You only run a risk of 1 to 2% negative total. All right, so there are setups there on Enphase and Bloom Energy. So thank you for bringing that to the stream. Let's close out just some tech stocks, like I'm talking like Apple, the big ones. Some FANG, and then I went over today, but there's some more education in this stream than just pure TA. All right, let's do, here we go. Apple. So again, Apple, and you know the FANG stocks, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Google, the big movers. Apple hitting $3 trillion market cap today, and that's an easy goal for people to latch onto. So Apple is not the easiest trade, but it's here, right? If you just drew this, Okay. Because, you know, Apple is not the most, uh, it's still a good company, but it's not like the old days. Someone's asking me, when do I have these streams? I usually stream Monday evening USA time, unless I'm very busy, but unless something happens. But it's usually Monday USA time, anywhere somewhere between like 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern to around now. But I have a free Discord. And again, if you miss a stream, because I do longer term swing trading and investing, if you miss a stream for like a week or like a day or two, it might not matter. You can still watch it and get value from it. So I do not do any day trading or IPO that much because you know, I believe there's higher success rate longer term if you just focus on longer term targets. So if you want to follow me in the free Discord group, I have a free weekly watch list of stock indexes, some earnings, and some current events and crypto support and resistance. That's free. You know, people pay for that kind of stuff, so I'm giving that for free right now. So if you want to check that out in the free Discord group, anyone watching this, the social media link is in my profile on TradingView. And if you want to follow me on TradingView, YouTube, or Twitch, always appreciate it. If you want to donate, always appreciate it as well. Keep the streams going. But Apple, this is what I'm saying, is a lot of people get caught up in indicators, RSI, MACD, down here, oscillators, EMAs, right? Or whatever you use, indicators. But for me, what I found is if we just use classic technical analysis, keep it simple, support and resistance, and manage my risk, this is an easy trade. I actually sold a little too early on this one, so that's okay. There are other things going on in the market. So 156.95 was I'm looking at this spot right here. How do we know how we're supposed to buy this thing? Okay, this is our probably last example. It is uptrending. It's just not super powerful uptrend like a post crash corona. Like this is the greatest uptrend in stocks for a long time, right? It was consolidating to the side and then we finally broke up, but it's still uptrend by definition, textbook. Okay, so where would we want to enter? I entered here, right here at 140. So I literally bought the bottom of the move. I just didn't hold it until now. I sold in the middle point, but that's okay, right? It's still a successful trade. I hit my target, so I just got out. But how do I know? Resistance on the top and the support on the bottom. Okay, and then there was this, I think I said on stream, there's a double trend line support and horizontal support, and then you just put some risk on. Right, as a trader, a swing trader, the target was the actual top here, 13%, and the risk is this standard swing trader 6 to 7% to get your 2 to 1. This actually went 3 to 1, 4 to 1. This thing went 4 to 1, almost, right? So I sold at the 2 to 1 spot. So again, how do we know on technical charts? A swing trader, you always try to buy low as possible, and then put some risk on with the stop loss, and you're giving yourself a better chance that it's going to go up in the green, right? If somebody wakes up tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. and just randomly buys Apple, they have higher risk, right? So that's just the thing I want to show people. The last thing on the stream is on any asset, stocks, crypto, commodities, Forex, IPOs, if we're bulls, if we're green, we want to buy at a discount value, never at overpriced price, okay? Relative in that point in time, right? If I'm looking at two prices right here, and if I'm not using any fundamental analysis at all, I'm looking at two prices, meaning this blue dot versus this blue dot, we want to try to train ourselves to hunt for the low value setups. Because 28% profit potential in 100 days, basically in 5 months of trading, is very good for an investor. Very good profit, depending on how much capital they're risking. But still, per trade, that's very good performance. Because stock market only goes 10% average a year. Okay, everybody? So I hope you learned something on this stream. Again, Happy New Year, everyone. You know, just coming right out of the gate with some real technical analysis. So thank you so much for joining and watching and following and donating. I appreciate all of it. And thank you so much. And if you want to give me a follow on TradingView YouTube, Twitch, Discord, go ahead and please do that. We're going to try to go through this year even more profitable than last year. So let's have a good one. Hope you have a nice week. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.